This conference will now be recorded.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining. This is Sudhir. Please confirm. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Prashant. Thank you. So, in the last session, we have started Jenkins. In the last session, we have started Jenkins. Okay, Dinesh, can you explain what is Jenkins?
It's a CI/CD tool, automation tool used to perform CI/CD. Like continuous integration and continuous delivery.
What are the stages involved in the CI/CD process?
Yeah, first stage is continuous download. Next one, continuous build, continuous delivery, continuous deployment, testing, and delivery.
Can you explain what is continuous download?
Downloading the source code from GitHub and building the artifact is called continuous build, and deploying it into QA environment is the continuous deployment.
Okay. Perfect. I think in the last class, we have already configured the dev server, isn't it? We already have configured dev server. Vishal, what all softwares we have installed in the dev server? Do you remember? We have completed configuration of dev server. Do you remember, Vishal, what all softwares we have installed in the dev server?
Yes, we had installed Java, JDK, and Jenkins.
Git and Maven also.
Yes.
Git also Maven. Git and Maven also. Okay. What we need to configure in the QA server and production instance? Let's log into AWS. Dev QA prod. I want to connect to dev server. Yeah. I have connected to dev server. We know dev server contains Jenkins. We have installed Java, Git, Maven, Jenkins. How to get the Jenkins homepage? Jenkins runs on what port number? We all know that the Jenkins runs on 8080 port number. So if you want to access the Jenkins dashboard, the public IP of the dev server, am I right? Take the public IP of the dev server, yes, colon 8080. Tell me, why are we not getting the page?
The public IP address must have changed.
Public IP must have changed. Public IP is same, right? 13.234.213.49.
We need to run
We need
the
to
Jenkins.
yes,
No,
we
Start
need to
we need
start.
to start the services.
We need to start the Jenkins by using the command java-jar jenkins.var. So remember that. In the real time, we will not start the Jenkins every time because why are we starting? Because we are stopping the machines. But in the real time, EC2 machines will never be stopped. They are running 24 by 7. So we will not stop the instance as we are stopping, and then we are running the instance. Yes, starting here. So Jenkins is fully got a message. Jenkins is fully up and running. See the message Jenkins is fully up and running. Now refresh. Yes. For the default user. Do you remember in last session we have created one default user? The name of the user is admin. The password is also admin. Logged in. I think we have a job. Or we have deleted the job. We have deleted the job. We have created one job to display some hello statement, and then we have deleted the job. This is how the Jenkins dashboard. This is the dev server. So we have completed configuring the dev server, but we should also configure the QA server and production server. We should also complete the configuration of QA server and production server. What needs to be installed in the QA server? Vishal, what do we need to install in the QA server? Cannot hear you, Vishal. What we need to install in the QA server? Tomcat. What we need to install in the production server? Tomcat. If you want to deploy, artifact will be available here in the dev server. If you want to deploy, you need a server. So for that purpose, we will be installing Tomcat. We have not done that. We'll be configuring and installing Tomcat in the QA server. And the same things we also do it in the production server also. Okay. So I don't want to work with dev server now. As of now, I want to work with QA server. So go to QA machine. Connect. Take this as this command. Open one more terminal. Okay. Now how to install Tomcat? Any idea? What's your plan? Our plan is to install Tomcat on QA server. How to do it? Look at the following steps. First step, update the apt repository. Yes. Sudo apt-get install-y Tomcat.
Sunil, why we need to install Tomcat in QA? Why can't we install in dev?
Dinesh, is this your question? Dinesh, why should we
Yeah.
install Tomcat?
Question only, Sunil.
First step, what we'll do, we'll download the source code, continuous download. Where the source code will be downloaded?
In dev server.
Dev server. Because Jenkins is installed in the dev server, so it will download it. And then we convert this source code into an artifact. So that will be converted into
Artifact.
artifact. Now the artifact should be deployed. No?
Yeah. Yeah, we can't deploy in same server.
If you can deploy in same server, but after deployment, this particular access will be giving for the testing team to test it.
Okay.
For that, we will have separate testing environment. So this is the testing environment.
Okay.
Okay.
So
that's
we
the
need to
reason.
deploy Tomcat and we need to give that server to testing team.
Yes, because it's a web
Normally.
application. Testing team will also access using the browser.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
Got it.
Yeah.
So that's the reason. So we have installed Tomcat 8. We also need to install one more package, Tomcat 8 admin also. We need to install one more package, Tomcat 8 admin. Done. Check whether Tomcat is installed or not. How to check the Tomcat installed or not? Where is Tomcat installed? QS server. Take the public IP of the QS server. Colon. Tomcat runs on port number 8080. Same port number. DevOps runs on 8080. Tomcat runs on 8080. But there's no confusion. Sorry, not Jenkins runs on 8080. Tomcat runs on 8080. But there's no confusion because this public IP is different. This public IP is different. So public IP colon 8080. It works. If you see this page via browser, that means you have successfully set up the Tomcat. Clear, Vishal, we have done in for configuring Tomcat. Okay. Next. Not just installing Tomcat, we need to create a user in Tomcat. We have to create a user in Tomcat because Jenkins, if Jenkins wants to talk to Tomcat, there should be one user created in Tomcat. Is there a minimum user, one user? So we are learning how to create a new user in Tomcat. Okay. For that, if you want to create a user, the user username, password, where should we mention? We should mention that in the file called as tomcat-users.xml file. Okay. So in that XML file, we'll be creating a new user. So I'm creating a new user in Tomcat. I'm creating a new user in Tomcat. So go to the machine where Tomcat is installed. Tomcat, when Tomcat is successfully installed, the Tomcat will be installed in this location /etc/tomcat8. ls to see list of all the files. There is a file called tomcat-users.xml file. In this file, we need to create the user credentials. Okay. Open this particular file. VI editor tomcat-users.xml file. The username which I'm creating is training. The password which I'm providing is Sunil. And we need to provide some roles to this user. So I need to create this user in this tomcat-users.xml file. Let's open that particular XML file. Okay. Using the VI editor. Go to insert mode. Not the end, just before the tomcat-users end tag. Before the end tag, provide the user credentials. Copy. Not beginners learn, beginners paste after tomcat-users. Before the end tag. As I have done my changes, escape to come out of the insert mode, :WQ to save and quit. As I have created user, we need to restart the Tomcat sudo service Tomcat 8 restart. Tomcat has been restarted. I am done configuring Tomcat. Similarly, repeat the same steps in the production instance also. Repeat the same steps in the production instance also. Exit to come out of the QA instance, connect to production instance. Connect. SSH command. Repeat the same steps. Production instance.
So in general, code like in Tomcat is used for multiple other purposes.
1 minute.
So
Let
what
us verify.
exactly?
1 minute. It works. Here we need to create a user. I don't want to create same username and password in the production. Learning I won't have, just to have differentiation.
That is the syntax, default syntax for creating username.
Syntax for creating user in Tomcat.
Okay, and default location etc and Tomcat 8 is there where the Tomcat is installed.
Yes, we always Tomcat will be installed in /AG.
Okay, okay, Sunil. Okay, thank you.
So once we create the user, we need to restart the Tomcat 8. Done. Yes. Prashant, any question?
No, sir. I wanted to know what is Tomcat exactly. I mean, I've heard
Tom.
about it quite here and there.
Okay. You know what is Tomcat? Okay. Look at this. You know what is a web server?
Yeah, I've heard. I've worked on IIS.
Okay. So it seems like a similar to IIS, Prashant.
Okay. Okay, it's similar to
Server,
IIS.
like
Mhm.
it's server. Look at this. If I write Wikipedia,
Hmm.
when I open wikipedia.org, I'm getting a page. Okay.
Yeah. Mhm.
From where I'm getting the page? From the server. It could be Tomcat or IIS. Okay.
Uh-huh.
When I click on English
Okay.
again, I get one more page. from where I'm getting these pages from the server. Okay.
So
So Tomcat is also a combination of web pages. When a user requests web page, then that will be served to the user. Okay.
okay, sir.
Okay. Next, we have completed configuration of all the three machines: dev server, QA server, and production server. In dev server, we installed Java, Git, Maven, Jenkins. Yes. In QA, we have installed Tomcat. In production, we have installed Tomcat. Okay. Now let's perform the CI/CD stages. So you also in your AWS account create three EC2 machines. Create three EC2 machines and configure dev server, QA server, and production instance. Production server. Okay. Now let's perform the CI/CD stages. So in the CI/CD stages, the first stage is continuous download. What do you mean by continuous download? Continuous download is nothing but downloading the source code. Continuous download is nothing but downloading the source code from where the source code needs to be downloaded. We all know the source code will be available in the GitHub repository. Continuous download is nothing but from downloading the source code from the GitHub repository to which machine? To the machine where the Jenkins is installed. In that machine, the source code will be downloaded. That is called as continuous download. How can we do that? First point, which repository we are downloading. In my GitHub account, I have a repository called Maven. This is the repository called Maven. This is the repository source code URL. This is the repo from where I got this repository URL here from here, web URL of the repository. This repository is having the source code of a particular project. Assume this repository is having the complete source code. So what I need to do, I need to download the source code from the Maven repository, which is there in the GitHub, to the machine in which Jenkins is installed. How can we do that? We do it using Jenkins. So let's open the Jenkins dashboard. Create a new item. Name of the item, I want to write it as development. Select as freestyle project. Click on OK. How to perform continuous download. How to perform continuous download. Go to source code management. What is your repository? GitHub. Select the repository as Git and mention the repository URL. That's a public repository, doesn't need any credentials. Click on apply. That's it. Click on apply, click on save. Go back to your dashboard. I have created a new job. What is the name of the job? Vishal, the name of the job is development. In this job, what we have done, go to configure. If you want to verify where you have done, go to configure, source code management, and I have mentioned the repository URL. So when I done this job, what will happen, Vishal?
The code from Git will be pulled and it will be downloaded on the
Downloaded into the dev server.
dev server.
So let's run this. I'm running the job. Can you see the job is running for the first time? Completed. Looks like. Click on refresh the dashboard. Has been successfully completed. console output. Job has been completed successfully. Where the code has been downloaded. Building the workspace in /home/ubuntu Jenkins workspace. A directory gets created with the name development. In the dev server, or a directory gets created. The name of the directory is development because the name of the job is development. As the name of the job is development, the same name directory gets created. In that directory, the source code will be downloaded. Can we see the source code? Can we see the code which is downloaded? Copy the path. This is production. We don't need this. I want to connect to dev server. Where the source code is downloaded. Source code is downloaded. CD. Yeah, can you see? The source code is downloaded. Perfect. Git to web app. Same directory. Git to web app. So perfect source code has been readme. Source code is downloaded. Any questions? Any questions in downloading the source code? Simple. Munir?
Sunil,
Yes, Nafis.
when we are doing in Jenkins, there are options to get the source code like GitHub, SVN. Can't we have TFS? I mean, there are two options I'm able to see. We have selected Git from there.
Yes.
Can we have another option, TFS,
Yes, you
or
will.
maybe someone?
If you have other source code management, if you're dealing with other source code management, you need to install the corresponding plugin in Jenkins.
Okay.
Then you
In
get that
Jenkins,
option. Yes.
then only I'm able to see that. Okay.
Yes. So I'll show you how to install plugins in the coming sessions also.
And one more thing. Uh, in the instance, we've done the tomcat.
Wait.
How to do the IS configuration? I mean, there will be a component we have to install or check in our whenever we do the web servers. So, how to configure the IS? I mean, I know the steps of IS, but in AWS, how I'm going to do it?
Instead of Tomcat, you want to install IIS, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's very
Because
easy.
my web application will be in IIS, not into the tomcat.
It's easy enough. It's okay. So just search for installing IIS on Ubuntu. You get that. Very simple. Okay.
Okay.
Not a problem. Any server we can install it. Okay.
Sunil, first we need to
Dinesh.
push the code. First we need to push the code into GitHub. From there we need to download it into
No.
Jenkins.
No. We will not push the code. The development team will push the code into GitHub.
Okay, fine.
Am I right? Who will be creating the code? Development team.
Developers. So our
We
work
get
will
the
be mainly Jenkins.
we will get the repository URL code from the development team.
Okay, fine. Okay,
That will download.
Okay.
Dinesh, once the source code, now the source code is downloaded, you cannot do anything with the code. What can we do? Unless you need to convert the code into
Artifact.
For that reason only we have installed Maven here in dev server.
Yes.
So we have a command. We need to package the source code and convert an artifact, generate an artifact. Okay. Whenever do you remember the last command which is used for generating an artifact, ambient package? Now we need to build the source code. So in the same job, configure the same job. We have an option configure. Configuring is nothing but editing the job. You get all the tabs. Go to build tab because you want to build this artifact. Add build step. Select invoke top level Maven targets. Enter the call as package. Run the job. When you're running the job for the second time, can you see here the job is running for the second time? Again, it performs continuous download, not just downloading the source code. Later, it will convert the source code into an artifact by using the command called package. It will package the source code, comes up with an artifact. Let's wait for the artifact to get created. Done. Let's refresh the dashboard. Yes, it has been successfully completed for the second time. Artifact is ready. Artifact is ready. Where can you see the artifact? Console output. Look at the success message. Building the var file. This is the location. The var file is generated. /home/ubuntu and the Jenkins and the same directory development web target web.1. So what happened, Dinesh? How did I develop the artifact? You want to see it? So you need to go to build. Building an artifact is a process of building, is it? So with the job only, we have a build tool. So build option. Development job. Configure. Build. Add build step. You should select invoke top level Maven targets and we should mention the command as package. Which will package the source code and generates an artifact, and the artifact is already readily available in this particular location. So what we have done, we have converted the source code into an artifact. Clear, Prashant?
Yes, sir.
Any questions, Vidya?
No, Sunny.
Chanakya?
Yeah, hi, sir.
Looks like your
So,
mic problem. You used to have a mic problem, I think, so, isn't it?
yeah, but now it's okay.
Okay.
Am I audible?
Yeah. Good to hear you.
Yeah. So as we are discussing about continuous download, so if there is any commits have changed in the source code, so is there any possibility of continuous download, automatic download, or again we
Yes.
have to do this process?
Download can be done automatically. Okay. So how to do it? First we'll do it manually. Then we'll
Okay.
trigger the job order. Okay. Based on the changes in the GitHub repository. How to do that? We'll see that in the coming.
Sir, for some reason your voice is going in and out.
Yeah,
Today?
Sunil sir, your voice is going in and out.
Hello? Okay. Is it okay better now?
yeah, now it's okay.
Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sunil, one doubt. If we are having 10 files in our GitHub and if you are copying that URL and you are downloading it, 10 files will be downloaded, right?
Yes, all the files which are there in the GitHub repository will be downloaded.
If I want only some 2 to 3 specific files, is it?
Hello?
Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah, if I want to download any specific file like 2 to 3 files only out of that.
No, if you want to build an app, no, why are we, what is the reason for downloading? To build an
for
artifact.
building? Yeah.
If you want to build an artifact, the complete project code should be available. If the partial code is there, then obviously the artifact cannot be built.
Okay.
Is it?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Munir, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
So downloading is done. We have downloaded source code. We have converted the source code into artifact. Artifact is also ready in the dev server. What is step 3?
We need to deploy.
We need to deploy the artifact into the QA instance.
Yeah.
Am I right, Mohit? Okay.
Yes.
Stage 3 is deployment. Deploying is nothing but deploying the artifact into the QA server. If you want to deploy an artifact, we need a plugin. Deploy to container plugin is required. Okay, look at this. Stage 3, continuous deployment. For that, we need to install deploy to container plugin is required. I'm showing you how to install plugins in Jenkins. Go to manage Jenkins. Manage plugins. Available tab. In this available tab, you should search for the plugin which is required. We need deploy to container plugin. So search for deploy to see we have option here, deploy to container. This plugin will allow you to deploy after successful build. Install without restart. We don't need to restart, just install it. The plugin is in the process of installation.
So meanwhile, while it's installing, can you show me the location where the source code, the built artifact is kept?
You want to go to that dev server and look at the web.war file? Prashant?
Yeah. No, sir, I just wanted to make a note.
This is the path.
Okay, sir.
Where did I get this path? How did I get this path?
This was actually once you build this artifact, it is there on the Jenkins
The log
dashboard.
messages. So the plugin is ready. Go back to Jenkins. See here, Prashant, go to log console output, scroll down.
Okay.
Building var.
It's there.
Okay. Okay. The container is ready. Now, sorry, plugin is ready. Now, same job configure. Deployment is a post-build action. We do deployment after building. So that is the reason. Go to post-build. Add post-build. You'll get an option, deploy var to a container. Deploy var to a container. What var file you want to deploy? Dinesh, which var file you need to deploy? Tell me.
Yeah, that web app that were like which we converted using.
This is the file you want to deploy. Web app dot
Yeah,
var.
where?
Instead of web app dot var, generally we write */*star.var. That means I want to deploy all the var files. In our case, as part of continuous build, only one var file is generated. But when you're working in a project, there will be multiple var files. When you perform build process, sometimes it will generate multiple var files. If you want to deploy multiple var files, we write Dinesh star.var. That means, what do you mean by star.var? It means all the files with extension dot
Where?
var I want
Oh,
to
yeah.
deploy.
Yeah, yeah.
Star means it can be in any directory, any location.
Okay. Okay, Sunil.
Okay. Now that is the var file. Context path I'll explain later. Okay, or I'll write context path. I write it as any name I can write. I can write your name Dinesh also. Context path I'm writing it as QA env. QA environment. Context path I'm writing it as QANV. Now the point is, why are we writing QANV in my context path? What is the importance of QANV? Instead of QAENV, can I write ABCD also? Yes, you can write it. So what is the effect of it? I'll discuss this all later after this job gets executed. Container, where you want to deploy? Tell me. I want to deploy to Tomcat 8. Select the container. When Jenkins wants to deploy artifact into Tomcat, Jenkins needs Tomcat credentials. Tomcat user. Jenkins wants to talk to Tomcat. To which user it needs to talk to Tomcat? So that's the reason we have created a user. So we need to provide that user credentials. As of now, there are no credentials in Jenkins. So I'm adding a credentials to Jenkins. Do you remember the username which we have created? The username which we have created is training. And the password is Sunil. Now select the, now you can see the credentials which I have added, and you can see the credentials and Tomcat URL. Tomcat URL is nothing but where do you want to deploy in this mission? How do you identify this mission? By using this IP address. Okay, so where there are two Tomcats, right? Do you want to deploy it here? You can deploy it. You can also deploy directly in the production, but we'll not do it. First, we'll deploy it in the QA instance. So how to get this Tomcat URL? http://private IP of the QA server. Where you want to deploy QA server? Take the private IP address of the QA server. This is the Tomcat URL. And yes, that you are clearly mentioning that I want to deploy into this particular Tomcat URL IP address, and you know Tomcat runs on port number 8080. So this should be the Tomcat URL. I want to deploy this particular var file to this particular Tomcat URL using this particular Tomcat user. This user is already there in this particular URL. That's it. Apply. And what is the context path that I will discuss after running this job? QANV is the context path, or you already have taken a note of it. What is the importance of context path? I'll explain that later. Click on apply, click on save. Go back to your dashboard. When you run the job now, again it starts continuous download. The source code is downloaded. Continuous build. The source code is converted into the artifact. deployment, the artifact will be deployed into the QA server using the IP address which we have mentioned. So let's run the job for the third time. Done. Refresh. Success. Console out. Successful. Deployment is done. Attempting to deploy is successful. Now, the artifact is deployed into the Tomcat server. Now, how can I access? It's a web application, right? So Tomcat is a web server. How can we access? Public IP of the QA server, where it is deployed. QA server. Take the public IP of the QA server. Colon.
Sunil.
1 minute. Tomcat runs on what port number? 800 slash. How do you access your application using the context path? What is the context path you have provided? QANV. So every application needs to have a context path, a unique URL. So QANV is an context path, a unique URL using which you will be accessing your application. Please observe here. Are you able to get a hello world application, Dinesh? Is your application available in the QA instance?
Yes.
Yes or no?
I mean,
Yes.
yes.
How are you accessing the application? In Tomcat, there may be multiple applications running. Okay, so how can you access the application? By using the context path, your unique path. Instead of QA, if you write ABCD also, you can access it by using the URL ABCD. But as it is a QA environment, I'm writing it as QANV. So important of context path is uniquely accessing your application which is deployed into the Tomcat. Now the point is, it could be simple hello world application, it could be complex a Facebook application. That does not differ for a DevOps engineer. It could be simple hello application or it could be complex as a Facebook application. Doesn't matter. You should be comfortable with the stages of CI/CD: continuous download, continuous build, and we have deployed, and you are able to access the application using the URL from the QA server. Not only me, anybody in the world, even you can also, sitting in US, Vishal, you can also access my application using this URL. So the testing team will access this application using the URL. Got it, Vishal? Concept of continuous deployment.
Yes, yes.
Any questions?
So
Why we need to give?
1 minute. Vishal,
sorry,
please.
Yeah.
so the context path that we had set, is it mandatory to set, or we can just set it to root?
You have to provide the context path.
Okay, but if I'm deploying it to production, then it will change my.
I'll tell you once we do it. How can we handle it in the production step by? How can we handle it? I'll explain.
Okay.
Container is nothing but Ashok. Container is nothing but server. Tomcat is our container. The term container refers to server. That's nothing but Tomcat or IIS or whatever it is. Yes, Dinesh.
Yeah, how we will come to know whether Tomcat is a web server? You said like we are accessing web server. No.
How to know what is Tomcat?
No. You said like we need to access web server using public IP, right? How we will come to know whether it's web server or else different? What is this?
No,
How we
repeat
will
your
say
question.
like?
No, repeat your question.
Yeah, you said we need to access the web server using public IP. You have mentioned like that, right?
We need to access Tomcat.
Yeah, Tomcat is a web server. Huh?
Yes.
Okay. And while giving that private IP in, we have given private IP of the Tomcat, right? Like the of the QA server.
In stage 3.
Yeah.
Yes.
Why we need to give private IP? Why can't public
Your
IP?
doubt is why one step we are using private IP and one step we are using public IP. When should we go for using private IP? When should we go use for public IPs?
Yeah, correct.
Okay. Dinesh, dev server, QA server, production server, all these three are running on which platform? All these three machines are on AWS. Am I right? Dinesh?
Yes, AWS.
All are in AWS platform, AWS network. If one machine wants to talk to other machine, if dev wants to talk to QA or QA wants to talk to dev, if one machine wants to communicate to other machine, or as all these three machines are in AWS network, private IP is enough.
Okay.
Okay,
Sunil.
Because both are in same AWS network. So that is the reason Jenkins, when it wants to deploy it, what IP I have used? Private IP.
Private.
Because Jenkins is in dev, QA is in, both are in AWS only, na? So that is the reason. Go to your post build action. Here what I have used, this is private IP address.
Yes, Sunil, got it.
Now, once the application is deployed, this is my laptop. From my laptop, I want to access this application. Okay. My laptop is somewhere in Hyderabad, so I'm out of AWS, right? So I'm using some other network, isn't it? So which IP I should use?
Public IP.
So that is the reason when I'm accessing the web server, I've used 213. 213 is nothing but public IP.
Okay, Sunil. And like Tomcat, we have some other web servers also.
Yeah, we have many web servers.
Okay, Sunil.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, Sunil, please.
Yes, Nafis.
You have a Java application. In case of .NET application, you are putting the WAR files. In the web application, it has multiple files. So how we will, same thing will happen, or what? We have given the path of
first
WAR
point,
file.
whenever you are dealing with .NET application, okay? Okay. And if all you need to deal with plugins. There are hundreds of plugins available in Jenkins. You need to search for the right plugin. Okay, you need to, for example, here we are using Tomcat. In case in the QA server we are not using Tomcat, we are using WebLogic. Then we need to install a WebLogic plugin or IIS plugin. Okay?
Yeah, IIS plugin that will work out for my web.
Yeah, exactly. In your.
But you are mentioning while post build, you are mentioning WAR or EAR file. But in case of web application, how it is going to show me when the UI?
What is the file artifact extension in case of web application?
It has multiple files, some ASPIX files, .switch-off files.
That's what I'm saying. You need to identify the right plugin. Okay, so you need to search for the plugin which is used for particular artifact extension. Okay, search for the right plugin, install the right plugin. You will get the right options automatically. Okay, now why are we getting this option
automatically?
Once the plugin is installed, automatically the plugin automatically the corresponding options will change in the Jenkins dashboard. Okay. Now why I'm getting this deploy WAR to a container option? I'm getting because I have installed a plugin. Which one? Deploy to container. If I don't install this plugin, you will not get this option at all. Nafis. Okay.
Deploy to container.
So
in my case, I have to what I have to search. Deploy to container is going to the Tomcat, but in case of web of .NET application.
In case your .NET application, first you should search for the artifact extension. Okay. Okay. So then search for how to deploy this.
There are multiple files. the context path we are defining in our web config files. So the path which you are mentioning QA environment, that is into the
The path
our
which
web.
you're mentioning in the context path should match with the path which you're mentioning at the time of in your you said, right, you'll be mentioning the
Web config file. Web config file is there.
web config file should match.
Yeah, and
That
credentials
should match.
you have mentioned tomcat URL and the credentials, all this will be there into the web config. So there will be multiple files, as I have said you. It has ASP.ASPX, C#, and other more than that. Yes. So these are the things in the artifacts of the .NET.
You're right. So you should search for that particular plugin and get it installed. Then you'll get those options. Because Jenkins will definitely work irrespective of the technology. That's how it is built.
Okay. Okay. No worries.
Okay. So we have done with deployment, and you are able, not only me, anybody in the world can access it. Okay. Next, what is the next step? Yes, Akhil. Any questions?
Yes. Yeah. One small question. From development to QA system, we have taken private IP,
Yes.
So can't we take like a public? Only the private is the one.
You can also take public IP also. Okay, but private is enough, na, within the same network.
I mean, on which criteria we should select whether it
That's
should be
what I
the
told you.
private?
So when both dev server and QA server both are running on AWS, isn't it?
Okay.
Akhil?
Yeah.
When both are running, when both are running on AWS, private IP is enough for communication.
Okay.
Out of AWS, if you want to connect to any EC2 machine, then you need to go for public IP.
Okay, sir. And for example, the whatever things we are doing like CI/CD operations, if we do that in queue system, then everything should be installed in queue system, right? Java, Git, Maven, and Jenkins. If we do in
QA server, you're talking about QA server.
Yes. We won't do it, but if we want to do it, then we should do the same thing.
Why do you want Maven here in QA server? Do you build an artifact in the QA server?
No, what I'm saying is like essence of doing all this in development is because we are developing the code in dev system, no?
Yes.
So wherever we want to, so the system is in to create in developing server only. But if we create, for example, it is not a practically possible, but the complete thing, whatever we are deploying and everything, if we do that in QA, we have to have all these things, right?
Yes. If you want to do it, we have to have Maven, Git, everything in here, but we will not do it. Nobody will stop you to do it, okay? Because QA is for testing purpose.
Yes. Agree. Okay.
So the artifact is available now. Once the artifact is available, what we need to do, the testing team will test it. Okay. And once it is tested, then we will move it into the production. So the remaining steps will stage 4 and stage 5. We have completed 1, 2, 3, stage 4 and stage 5. We'll do it in our tomorrow session. Okay, not in today's session. Okay. So please, all of you, please take some time, okay, and complete the stages. Vishal, Deepthi, Ananya. So please take out some time, perform these stages, whatever I explained. Make yourself hands-free with the development and Jenkins tool. Okay. If you have not configured AWS infrastructure, please complete that. Okay. And Dinesh, have you not sent the videos? Email? Did you send the email? Please send an email to support. Okay, you'll get the videos. Okay. Thank you. And see tomorrow where we'll continue stage 4 and stage 5. Okay. Thank you all. Bye.
One small info needed.
Yes.
Hello. For this one, any kind of demo projects will be available?
No,
demo
the
project.
reason, see, so you have a doubt, sir. This is very small application, hello application. Okay. Can we have more better application? So the application, we don't need to worry about the complexity of the application. It doesn't affect our work. Okay, did you understand? Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
so I don't have a other application because we should have a successfully running source code, isn't it? So that's the reason I have this hello application which I'm showing it. It doesn't matter. That it doesn't affect our work. Okay.
Okay, Sunil, thank you.
Thank you, and see you tomorrow. Please practice. Bye, everybody. Thank you, one and all. Bye,
Thank you,
Prashant.
Sunil.
Bye, Ananya.
Thank you.
Thank you all.